You know, Republicans don't have anything to run on. The economy is coming back. Inflation has fallen down to the point that it's reaching normal. They are on the attack on women, and women are starting to revolt, both because of the ruling in Alabama on IVF, as well as, they want to take away contraception, and not to speak about all the red states that are abolishing abortion. So they're in trouble. So the only thing that they have left is to scare you. And how are they going to do that? Well, immigrant crime from immigrants. That's what they're going to do. Crime from immigrants, and also many other things they think they can do to scare a large sect of our population into believing they're under attack. And in creating that narrative, they hope to win you over. They're going to scare you into voting for a strong man that will go against all those people that don't look like you, that could probably cause you harm. And the person that gets it the best, as he always does when it comes to equating the media narrative to the lie, to the candidate, to the facts. I want you to listen to Chris Hayes, and then we'll take it on the other side. Chris Hayes nailed it.
If you have tuned into right-wing media at all over the past few months, you might have noticed that after spending years beating the drum on inflation, Fox News does not really want to talk about the economy anymore. They sure as heck do not want to talk about abortion. So what is their new pet issue heading into the general election? So-called migrant crime. That's it. Honestly, you cannot overstate the deluge of coverage. At any given moment all day, Fox is either reporting on crime, just finishing a segment of crime, or about to run a segment on migrant crime.
Migrant crime is beginning to spiral out of control.
There's a migrant crime spree killing Americans.
Migrant crime wave.
The migrant crime crisis.
Migrant crime.
The growing immigrant crime crisis.
Every third day, there's a story about some sort of migrant crime.
The drumbeat of propaganda has been moving not just Republicans, but public opinion overall in a really bad direction. A recent Pew poll found that a clear majority of Americans believe a large increase in the migrant population leads to an increase in crime. The problem is it's not true. It is simply not true. It is a right-wing invention. According to preliminary data from last year published by the New York Times, quote, the country is likely to see one of the largest, if not the largest, yearly declines in homicides. That's right. We are going to set a record in 2023 for a drop in homicides. So to recap, homicides saw a near record single-year spike under Donald Trump, and it now appears the largest single-year decline in homicides ever in American history happened under Joe Biden. And I will further speculate that if 2023 saw the biggest one-year increase in the homicide rate in recorded American history, everyone would know about it. But what's more, according to a new analysis from NBC News, quote, expert analysis and available data from major city police departments show, despite several horrifying high-profile incidents, there is no evidence of a migrant-driven crime wave in the United States. In fact, in many of the cities, like New York, that have taken in a huge amount of migrants, and there really have been a lot, crime has gone down quite considerably. There you have it. It's not just, of course, the data that matters, because this manufactured crisis is at the heart of Donald Trump's monstrous vision for a second term.
As president, I will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history to remove Joe Biden's illegals and murderers, because that's what many of them are. It's very simple. If they don't go back to their countries, we will never get back our country.
It's predicated on lies, but they're effective lies. And we need to combat Trump's promises with an alternate vision for our future. Donald Trump and the Republicans are not interested in that. They're not interested in solutions at all. As President Biden noted today during his visit to the border, they won't even consider the very conservative border bill that was struck as a deal between Republicans and Democrats before Donald Trump killed it. Donald Trump is wrong about migrants. He's proposing what amounts to a system, get this, of national martial law that would deport 8 million people, with the National Guards of right-wing states being brought in to do it. Americans don't actually want that. The only way to make the case is to start trying to combat his false framing instead of trying to operate within it.
Again, what more do you need to hear? These guys have nothing to run about, and when you see them pirating the same thing, including some of the people that come to our chat, some of the people that make our calls, I mean, they hear it from Fox News, OFN, OAN, Newsmax, the right-wing media kits, the email messages that they get. They're bombarded with this information constantly. Of course, their minds are going to stay in that state of confusion. And that's why we are here. That's why we have truly independent media that follows the progressive tenets of telling the truth. And not only telling the truth, but opening the doors for others to come to that realization. So folks, if you all, when you hear or when you see us saying, make sure that you support independent media, it is to mitigate what they're doing at Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, and all these other rags that are very, very well funded by wealthy people whose intent is to make sure they get a strong man that will protect everything that they have stolen from you. You don't believe it? A lot of you don't quite understand yet. They have legally stolen from you, both by using inflation. That's a way of stealing from you, by increasing your interest rates. They are taking you to the cleaners, and at the same time asking you to elect those who are doing that to you. That's why we're here, to tell you the truth.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.